Have you ever just looked at a map and had one of those wait a second moments? You see two pieces of land that are so close, and you think, why in the world isn't there a bridge there? Well, today, we're diving headfirst into one of the planet's great engineering puzzles. We're talking about a massive bridge in New Zealand that seems like a total no-brainer, but for some really powerful reasons, it just doesn't exist.
I mean, just look at it. You've got the North and South Islands of New Zealand, separated by the Cook Strait, and at its narrowest point, it's only about 22 kilometers wide. That's nothing. In our world of mega bridges and incredible engineering feats, you'd think connecting them would be at the top of the to-do list. So what's the deal? Why hasn't it happened?
Well, the answer doesn't start with blueprints and steel. Nope, it starts with these incredible, invisible forces that have been shaping this part of the world for millions of years. To really get it, we need to look deep beneath the waves and way up into the sky.
Okay, so this is not just any old body of water. The Cook Strait is, for lack of a better term, a geological war zone. It's sitting directly on the boundary where the Pacific and Australian tectonic plates are crashing into each other. This makes the area one of the most seismically active, most unpredictable places in the entire country. You're not just building a bridge over water here. You'd be trying to bolt it onto the constantly moving, shaking crust of the Earth itself.
And get this, the scale of the problem under the water is just mind-blowing. The seafloor isn't some nice, gentle slope. Oh no, the massive Hikurangi Trench cuts a canyon right through the strait, plunging down to depths of 3,500 meters. That is over 2 miles straight down. Just try to imagine finding solid ground for bridge pillars in a chasm that deep. It's next to impossible.
So, we've got shaky ground and insanely deep water. But the challenge isn't just coming from below. See how the mountains on the North and South Islands form a kind of channel? Well, that channel acts as a perfect natural wind tunnel. It takes these powerful global winds, known as the Roaring Forties, and funnels them, accelerating them to absolutely ferocious speeds right through the strait.
And when I say ferocious, what do I mean? The highest wind gust ever recorded there clocked in at an unbelievable 260 kilometers per hour. That's Category 5 hurricane territory. Just think about the constant, brutal force that wind would exert on a giant bridge, day after day, year after year. It would be in a permanent battle with nature.
And just for good measure, let's throw in the water itself, which is often a raging torrent. The Cook Strait has some of the most powerful and complex tidal flows anywhere on Earth. This isn't just some abstract problem. Back in 1968, the ferry TEV Wahine sank in a massive storm here, a tragedy amplified by these insane conditions. So you've got deep trenches, violent winds, and ripping currents all in one place. It's just a relentlessly hostile environment.
And here's the kicker. These aren't just separate issues. They all combine to create this perfect storm of obstacles. What looks like a simple gap on a map is actually, from an engineering standpoint, an absolute nightmare.
Let's put this side by side to really see what we're talking about. Most big bridges, they have to deal with maybe one or two major challenges, deep water or high winds. But the Cook Strait, it has all of them, and they're all cranked up to 11. Extreme depth, extreme seismic risk, extreme winds, and extreme currents. Your standard playbook for building mega bridges, you can just throw it right out the window here.
Now, you might be thinking, okay, sure, it's tough, but with modern tech, we can solve almost anything, right? And you're not wrong, but every problem has a price. And for the Cook Strait, that price tag becomes the final, immovable roadblock.
Even the earliest, most basic estimates for a bridge that could survive all this started over 100 billion New Zealand dollars. And let's be honest, that's almost certainly a very conservative guess. For a country of just over 5 million people, that's a number so huge it's almost meaningless.
To really wrap your head around it, look at this. The cost of this one bridge would absolutely dwarf the country's entire yearly budget for things like, healthcare and education. And not just for 1 year, but probably for many years. You just can't make the economic case. It would mean gutting essential public services for a single piece of concrete and steel. So if a bridge is a geological, meteorological, and economic impossibility, then how on earth do you connect the islands? Well, it turns out the best, most practical solution has been sailing these waters the whole time. The answer isn't a fixed bridge, it's a floating one. New Zealand has this amazing, dedicated fleet of large, modern ferries.
These things are beasts, specifically designed to handle the rough and tumble of the strait, and they shuttle people, cars, and critical freight back and forth every single day.
And when you actually break it down and compare them, the ferry system just makes so much more sense. The cost is manageable and you can upgrade it incrementally. The fleet gives you options and redundancy. If one ship is down for maintenance, the others pick up the slack. A bridge, on the other hand, is a massive single point of failure. One big earthquake could cut the country in two for years. The ferries just offer a level of flexibility and resilience a bridge never could.
So, when you put it all together, the final verdict on a Cook Strait bridge is pretty clear. It really is a bridge too far, and for a whole bunch of powerful reasons.
It really boils down to this perfect storm, this trifecta of unshakable barriers. You have the violent geology of the Earth itself, you have the absolutely brutal weather created by global wind patterns, and then you have the staggering economics that just make the whole thing a non-starter. Any one of those would be a deal-breaker. Together, it's a fortress wall.
In the end, it's just a really powerful reminder, isn't it? It's like nature built a moat around New Zealand's islands, a moat so formidable that even our incredible 21st century engineering looks at it and says, you know what, maybe not. Sometimes the smartest solution is just to respect the forces you can't possibly tame.
And that kind of leaves us with a bigger question to think about. In a world where we can build taller, longer, and more amazing things than ever before, are there still some places that are just meant to be left wild? Thanks for tuning into this explainer.